There are no dull days when you dig it all. Well, welcome to Finding America. It is really nice to see you here. Well, we've had some absolutely beautiful weather here in Tennessee. The only problem being the ground is still dry and rock hard like concrete. And that really limits the places I can go metal detecting. But luckily, I kept at it last weekend and I did find a couple places to search. Now, the first one you're about to see in this episode takes place at a very small park sitting on a street corner in a small Tennessee town. Well, I'd been driving around. I had a little bit of time to kill, and that's when I saw that park up ahead. Now, I'd actually been to this park, but it was many years ago, and I hadn't been back since. So I thought, what the heck? I grabbed my Manticore and the camera, and I thought, let's see what we can find here. There's one thing I always love. It's a challenge of hunting a public park. And after about an hour and a half, I came away with some pretty cool things that I wanted to share with you. Well, years ago, Chris and I hunted this just a tiny little corner park here. And we found some cool things, some Model T parts and some Wheaties. And that was eons ago. I think I was using the Minelab E-Track back then. So, haven't been back here since, and I thought, well, you know, I got a couple hours to kill. I thought I'd come out here and see what I could find. And mostly a lot of clad so far, but I did get this, and I just had to film it because last week I got a fleece bleach cap, and now I got an unbreakable rust-proof Purex bleach cap. So I will definitely take that. That's 40s or 50s, and hey, it's a good sign because there's some old trash here, so hopefully there's some old treasures. Well, this one was giving me a 26. Said it was in the plug, and I was kind of taking the dirt away, and I think I got to maybe a star, so I wanted to grab the camera. So I don't know what this is. It seems to be star-shaped. Yeah, that's odd. Looks like an open design of a star. Huh. That's pretty odd. Well, this one was giving me a signal in the 40s, and I love how a lot of times I can tell the shape of the item. I could tell this was a bit of a long horizontal smear on my screen, dead on the conductive line. So I'm like, well, let's go see what this is, and it's kind of interesting. This is how it popped out, and I can see some writing on it, so I grabbed the camera. What does it say? SBT&T Company. Maybe Southern Bell Telecommunications and Telegraph and Telephone Company? I don't know, but I think it might be Southern Bell Telephone Company. Might have been one of their tags that went on the pole. But it's definitely an old piece, so very cool. I like that. Well, that M9 will definitely go deep. I just got a signal that was ringing up in the quarter range. It buried the depth meter. It was about 14 inches down, all the way down at the bottom of that hole, and unfortunately, it was a ball jar lid, not a breastplate or a quarter. But it looks to be pretty old, and I thought, what the heck, I'll film this one and see if I can date the lid by the logo when I get home. Probably going to be 30s to 60s, somewhere in there, but yeah, pretty cool, and it's just real impressive depth with that 9-inch. Now I've got maybe another old thing. Check it out. Give me a 73. Now it's an old tube, but I thought maybe if I can do it one-handed, we'd unroll the tube to see what this was. I think it's going to be a Colgate tube, but it looks to be an old one. You can see the old style collar on it. So let's see. This is not always the easiest thing. I need to use my knee pad here. Hopefully. Oh yeah, but this is an old one, that's for sure. That's a ribbon dental cream Colgate tube. So 40s, 50s, not far from the Purex cap. And there you go. Always love playing the unroll the tube game. And this one's actually in pretty darn good shape. And like I said, that's an old one, so I am definitely encouraged by that. And yeah, more than likely there was an old house on this site. I haven't looked on the maps. This is kind of a spur of the moment thing today. But I will definitely take this and hopefully find some other stuff here. Brush your teeth twice a day. Well, of course, that's a rule that we learned when we were children. But that wasn't always the rule. Before 1940, most Americans only brush their teeth once a day. Well, that is until men began enlisting in the U.S. Army during World War II to fight overseas. They soon learned that Uncle Sam insisted they brush twice a day or else. At the war's end, those GIs brought that habit home with them, and it wasn't very long before the entire nation caught on to brushing your teeth twice a day. Well, got my first old coin, lots and lots of clad here, but this one's giving me a 69, and it was about 7-8 inches down, and I popped it out and I got a nice early weedy. Well, I got an early weedy, not so nice, kind of crusty. I don't know if it's going to clean up much, but it's a second year weedy, 1910 Philadelphia mint. So definitely happy with that. Nice early coin, and yeah, there's got to be more out here. Well, I was getting a really deep high tone here. I'd say about 9-10 inches. I finally saw the edge of it and I was like, oh, hopefully it isn't another ball jar lid, but it wasn't. It was some type of handle. You see the two mounting holes here. Pretty cool. Pretty old too. So just thought I'd show you that one. I think it's pretty neat. I'll get it cleaned up. We'll get a better look at it. But not bad. Yeah, this place has some potential. I might have to spend a little more time here. Well, after that, I really had to get back home, but I was definitely in the mood to do some more detecting. So later in the day, I decided to visit a couple small lots in town that once had some old homes sitting on them. Now, I've hunted these pretty hard in the past, and I was just hoping maybe there's still something to be found there. And I decided this time I would turn my sensitivity up and see what kind of difference that made. And of course, I was going to be digging it all. Well, as it turned out, there was a lot to be found on those old lots. Got a nice 70 to 72 signal just an inch down in the plug, and got myself a nice early weedy. This one's going to be a 1918 Philadelphia mint. I wasn't sure if I had gotten anything worth filming or not with this one. It gave me a 69 signal, about 6 inches down. I finally got it out, and that's what it was. And I thought, well, who knows what that is. It's got two slots, one on each side, and a mounting hole or something in the center. But then I started brushing the other side, and it has all kinds of writing, and I can make out the word Chicago. So I'm gonna see if I can get this straightened. It's definitely a very old piece, and it appears to have writing all the way around this. So pretty cool. Looking forward to seeing what this is. And yeah, just going really slow. And just, people always ask me, how slow are you swinging it? I'm swinging extremely slow. You know, just separating every single signal, because I got another 65 right next to this one. So I got to check to see what that is. But this place is just jam-packed with all kinds of signals, and I am just going very slow to separate them. And yep, Manticore and the M9 do a great job with that. And you know, I immediately thought of curtains for the home when I read that Chicago company's name, but that really wasn't the case. They actually made curtains and shades for things like early automobiles. And roll-up shades for train compartments and streetcars. They even made steel shades for touring and city buses. You know, it's one thing I love about this hobby, because it's just absolutely amazing the new things you can learn from almost anything that you find while you're out there metal detecting. Well, so that's where I got that Chicago piece, and this is where I got the 1918 Wheatie, and over here I had a 65. So it really did a nice job separating everything. And one thing I'm also doing on this, of course I'm running all terrain fast with the depth audio theme, but I'm also running the sensitivity pretty high. It's running at 30, and you might be able to hear some chatter, but that chatter only occurs when you lay the machine down on the ground. As soon as you pick it up and start swinging, it quiets right down like normal. And yeah, just bumping up the sensitivity, wanted to see what it might do out here. So I'm getting some really nice targets, so hopefully that's contributing. The 65 signal that I got here turned out to be a very old water thermostat. That's what it looks like. And yeah, that's a pretty early one right there. So that's pretty cool. Maybe it'll have something on it, part number or something I could look up. But I'm definitely happy with that. And 3 very interesting targets all right in a row. Well, I moved up 1.5 feet, not even that, 12 inches forward, and I got a decent signal. Now, it gave me a really long smear. It was iron and conductive, and I'm just like, hey, it's repeatable, I'm going for it. First thing that I found was this. It's a big old iron piece. Might even been like a handle. I don't know, it's hard to tell, but definitely been in there a long time. So I checked the hole again, started getting a 52 signal. Started off in the 40s, now we're up to 50s. And this is what I got. That's pretty cool. Check this out. That is a blade to a butter knife. Very old butter knife. So that is awesome. I don't know, maybe I'll get lucky, something's engraved in it, but that is a nice piece. It probably would have had a bone handle or wooden handle, and that's long gone, but the blade is still here. Definitely like that. And another nice recovery. Yeah, 4 very cool finds just in this area. Well, I don't think I've moved 3 feet. I'm just really concentrating on this area, and I'm just pulling signal after signal out of here. And this one was giving me like an 18-19 signal, And I was like, well, and it's pretty low, but it's a really nice sounding signal, and I'm just digging it all. And I'm so glad I did, because boy, this one was really tough to get. I think it was on edge and about 5 inches down. But check it out. I got an awesome workwear button. It's a Carhartt. Let me pick it up and bring you in closer. Very early Carhartt workwear button. And let's see, get it to focus here. But you can see the streetcar surrounded by the heart, which is the symbol for the logo for the Carhartt. And you see down here it says O''alls, so overalls, and I believe it says gloves, which I have not found this variety before, and I just think it's absolutely awesome. The backside is just completely rusted away, but this is the side you want. So I'm very thrilled with this. I found a Carhartt, early Carhartt, just 2-3 weeks ago. So, and here's another one that I've never found before. Absolutely love this piece, and yeah, if I wasn't digging it all, I'd never find it. Well, I just had to film this one. I film these every once in a while because I always have people asking me what these are. And it's just funny. For a long time I didn't know what they were, and then finally figured it out. So whenever I find one, I film it because I know other people are going to find these. And there it is. It's aluminum, and you might recognize it, but that is the clip that goes on the end of a sausage casing. So that would hold the casing together at the end when they filled the sausage. Well, this is pretty cool. I got a 23-24 signal here, and I dug down about 5-6 inches, and it finally popped out when I threw the dirt up on my drop cloth. And check it out. Looks to be a very old brass ring. Definitely. Now, could be a wedding ring. It's hard to say. A lot of the wedding rings back in those days were brass and plated. So, very nice little piece right there. I always enjoy finding these. I always wonder what the story is behind them. Well, I got a nice little find right here. It's giving me a 69, about 5 inches down. And I saved a little bit of time. I went ahead and cleaned it up a little bit, but I got a nice early weedy. And another one. This one's going to be 1920 Philadelphia mint. Nice looking coin. And definitely happy to have that one. I tell you what, this hole made me laugh. What can I say? I was getting a 56. Nice repeatable signal. Dug a plug, started clearing out the dirt. Pinpointer said it was still in the hole. I felt the edge of something, and I gave it a pull, and this is what made me laugh. Look at that. A spark plug. Wow, keeping the streak alive. I tell you, it's an oldie, man. Wow, that is definitely an oldie. I hope there's a part number on it. Look at the 4 green rings. That is pretty awesome. Might be Delco or AC. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to get lucky. Yep, there's the AC. Right there. Maybe I'll get lucky and get a part number off of it, but getting a 68, 69 signal. Dug down and I cleaned it up. You won't believe this. It's another 1920 Wheatie. Let me get out in the sunlight here. Yeah, I couldn't believe it. Another 1920 Wheatie. And it looks like this one is going to be a Denver mint mark, possibly San Francisco. It's a little bit worn, but very cool. That's crazy. Two 1920s almost in a row. Well, this was an odd find right here. It was giving me a 6970, but it was kind of on the lower Ferris scale on the image screen. It was definitely deep, about 7-8 inches, and I finally got it out. Don't even know what it is. It could just be garbage, but it is really odd. I don't know. I don't know. I just wanted to film it in case it turned out to be something interesting. I'll give it a clean when I get home. But there's like different layers. See that? That's really bizarre. But it's definitely old. It's got a green patina, and I think it's pretty cool. Well, this next one was giving me a nice 32 signal, and went ahead and dug down fully expecting a pull tab, but I got something a little bit better. Quite a bit better in my eyes. It's an old shotgun head stamp, but it's one that I don't find very often. It's a 16 gauge Winchester, but it's a Winchester Ranger. So I don't usually find that model very often, but that is very cool, and it's got the Made in USA underneath the Ranger. Well, I got a kind of an interesting piece from one of the houses that once stood here. Getting a 59 to 66, kind of bouncing in between, pretty deep, about 10 inches. And it was all mangled up aluminum. I straightened it out, and I was like, what the heck is that? And then I turned it this way, and I'm like, okay, that was a house number. And that is that thing just really kind of oozes age. Definitely a old style 7 right there, but pretty cool. Just had to show you that one. Well, another example where digging it all pays off. Well, hopefully it pays off. I think it did. First signal I got was in the 30s, about 30 to 32, a long smear. I thought maybe it might be a spoon, but it turned out to be this. And then I checked the hole, and just up a couple inches was the 25 signal. I was hoping nickel, but it turned out to be a big ball of aluminum foil. But digging those two things freed up a 64 over here, just off to the side. And I hadn't heard that, so I dug down. It was about 6 inches. I just put it back just the way I saw it, because I did look at the other side, but I still don't know what it is exactly. But I think I have a printing plate. I think it's got quite a bit on it. Oh man. You know, it kind of looks like Ford, doesn't it? Maybe not. Oh wow, how cool is that? Man, this is when you wish you had the whole plate. But maybe I'll be able to figure it out. Something. TR tractors. Oh no. Ford tractors. Wow. Oh, that is awesome. That is really, really awesome. Trucks Tractors. That's what it says. Ford Trucks Tractors. Printing plate. Early 1900s. Newspaper. Advertisement. Oh man. Oh yeah, I've been in Fords a long time, and boy, I would love to have the whole thing, but I'm so glad I have the majority of it. How cool is that? I didn't even hear that signal until I cleared those other two out, which is amazing. I don't know if it was on edge or what. But let me shut my pinpointer off. The lost alarm is going off. But isn't that awesome? I will definitely take that. And here, let me give you an idea here. This tree to that tree, that's all I'm doing right now. And I'm just going ultra slow, isolating everything. And everything you've seen me find has just been in this little area of about 20 foot by 20 foot. And yeah, that paid off with that and some other cool things. So well, there was lots in those old lots after all. And be sure to stick around. In just a few seconds, I have some really cool haunted Halloween history to share with you. And also stick around to the very end because I have a link there that'll take you to another really great Finding America episode. Now, I found a lot in this episode, and one thing in particular, a very small relic that represented some really big history. Well, I hope you enjoyed watching this episode, and remember, it's history that makes a find a treasure. And I can't wait to see you back here next week on Finding America.